Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better too, idiot.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are happy days. These days are
Hey, welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them? I'm the Venerable Patrick Skeyhill, and of course with me as always is...
Jambalaya Joe.
Jambalaya Joe Vekeman, and of course we have Mr. Van Rensselaer on the audio boards. Thank you for helping us out again, Lev. And what's today's movies, Joe?
Just a singular.
What's today's movie, Joe?
We watched The Waterboy.
Remix! Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them. That's right, we've returned to Adam Sandler to fix the errors of our old ways with me and my co-host Jambalaya Joe and Lev Van Rensselaer kind enough to help us with cleaner audio this go around.
Hell yeah.
Not to throw shade on your old ways, Lev. We all were figuring things out back then. Joe, what movie are we remixing this week of Adam Sandler's?
The Waterboy.
That's right. And Joe, why don't you give us a plot synopsis of this?
A young man named Adam Sandler. No, I'm just kidding. A water boy for a college football team discovers he has a unique tackling ability and becomes a member of the team. He discovers he has a unique tackling ability when he gets fired up from remembering all the trauma that has been brought upon him for making fun of him.
I was a little excited at the beginning of your recap. I thought you were going back to your old ways of just trying to make it up on the spot.
No, it's not fun doing that. I sound like a fool.
It's fun to me. It's fun to me watching you struggle.
Yes, of course. A young man named Adam Sandler.
Watching this movie, I was like, oh my God, this is like a great Patrick and Joe. It's got for me and for you. It's got a little wrestling for you. It's got some football for me. It's got what we like. You know, for the wrestling thing to be brought up really early in the film, it never really comes back.
Yeah, I know.
I thought Captain Insano would be a bigger deal thing, but you said in the old version of the podcast that he just likes wrestling, and maybe that's how that made it into the script.
Sandman was a big wrestling fan. I used to see him like whenever they went to whenever the WWE went to like LA, they would always show him in the crowd clapping with Schneider.
Is he still, do you know, or has he moved on?
I'm not sure. He hasn't been around in a while. I mean, I feel like the product's changed a lot, so he's probably like, maybe this isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of the big gimmicks and giants anymore. It's more smaller guys doing flippy stuff.
Flippy stuff, ooh.
Yeah, it looks cool.
All right. This episode was notable for two things. We'll talk about the original episode. We'll talk about the first part first. To me, this episode was kind of where Joe and I found our footing, where we kind of settled in and kind of started to find the formula that worked between us, and I would call the first modern episode of our podcast, so to speak. Modern episode, yeah, where we kind of, the thing that we've done ever since has kind of been sticking around since then. Part of that resulted from me actually enjoying the movie and being surprised at how much I enjoyed the movie, so enjoying it quite a bit. I think that helped, but also Joe hating the movie.
Well, let me tell you, times have changed. This is now one of my faves.
Times have changed. 50 minutes, or podcast episodes like 30 minutes long, and 25 minutes into it, I convinced you to like the movie right then. Times did change, Joe. But listen.
Yeah, they did.
Spitting was a big reason why you brought up not liking the movie. I worry I did not watch the full version of this movie. I saw no spitting. There was no spitting at all. It's like
right at the beginning of the movie. I was just...
Okay, so there wasn't a lot of spitting?
I had a very weak stomach as a child, and I never... I had, incidents where, I was bullied, and people would, I don't want to talk.
You had childhood spitting trauma, is what you're saying.
Kind of. People, I feel like they knew it, bothered me because I had a weak stomach, so they would do it more on purpose.
They would spit on you?
Spit next to me.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
gross
feels less traumatic, but
spits.
I get it.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
Okay. Yeah, I just was on the lookout for it the whole movie, and I guess maybe it happened so early I wasn't expecting it, but then it just never happened, and I'm like, did I have the wrong thing? Or did it happen like once I missed it and Joe didn't care? Joe cared that much? But also,
No,
I remember, and I might be making this up because we recorded this the same day we did the Wedding Singer podcast, so it was in September of 2015, 7+ years ago. I remembered there being kind of like a flashback as Adam Sandler is describing why his father died. Did I make that up? Did you have a flashback in your movie? If not, then I probably made it up.
I think you made it up. I don't think they mentioned his father too much in a flashback. They do tell the story at the end where like his mom's got like the...
Yeah, there's that. I don't know. He says that like he was walking through the desert and he died of dehydration. If he just had water, I could have saved him.
I think it's the thing where like you remember the story and then you put a picture to it already, but they're just like saying lines. They're not like actually showing anything.
Yeah, could have missed it.
I don't think that's in the movie. I think they just like say a couple lines to add some detail to it. I don't think they show anything.
Okay. Yeah, Frank Karachi directing 2 movies that came out in the same year. How did that happen?
How do you do it? I don't know. He did a Spielberg. This was his Schindler's List and Jurassic Park.
Between The Wedding Singer and Waterboy, which is Jurassic Park and which is Schindler's List?
Well, I mean, if we're going by box office, The Waterboy would be Jurassic Park, even though it comes out in the later half of the year. So you think this is the more awards play?
And like, not to say The Wedding Singer wasn't successful, but why do you think this was the more successful film that year? And was it much more successful than The Wedding Singer, or just like?
I believe so. Well, The Wedding Singer it kind of had the same Jim Carrey effect. If you remember, at the beginning of 1994, there was Ace Ventura. And then in the summer of 1994, Jim Carrey had The Mask, which he was able to get a higher salary for because Ace Ventura was such a big hit. And then by the time Dumb and Dumber is coming out, The Mask is a huge hit, and they're still filming Dumb and Dumber, which doesn't come out till December. And he was able to negotiate like a $20 million salary because he had 2 giant hits that year. And they're like, well, if you want me to be in the movie, you're not gonna. That guy's not paid as highly as I think I'm worth. Yeah, Sandler had a giant hit with The Wedding Singer, and then this was a movie that made him even more in the consciousness. Big hit, even bigger hit. Movie made, I think, even like double that, because this is his highest grossing movie, I believe, or like one of them.
Well, until Grown Ups.
Okay, so maybe it's Grown Ups then. So, so what it is this is the highest grossing sports comedy of all time, and the second highest grossing sports comedy is The Longest Yard. So he has the top 2.
Well, you forget, Joe, in the original episode, it was the highest grossing sports comedy until The Blind Side.
That's not a comedy.
Yes, that's what we discussed at length then. But I imagine the Golden Globes thought it was, and so that's how it got marketed. No. But yes, taking that off the list, which you should, he's done very well for himself.
So, yeah, this would not be his highest grossing movie. This is his 10th highest grossing film at the box office as of 2021. Which made just under $200 million.
Yeah, but again, not adjusting for inflation. So I do wonder where it would rank. Because it was enormously successful. It did allow him to become the $20 million movie guy. But maybe you're right. The Jim Carrey effect is just like people had liked him in The Wedding Singer. They didn't have to wait too long to get another taste of the funny guy. And so, yeah. But then you also brought up that the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer was at the beginning of Waterboy. And so people were just buying tickets to watch the trailer and then leaving.
Crazy. Weird that is a thing.
That might have helped too.
Now we just have YouTube.
Yeah, now, yes. Take some of the fun out of it. Here's what the internet also ruined. Like, I miss when you could, like, go to the movie theater. This is why I don't like the trailers anymore. Aside from that, I see them all the time now because I watch the same types of movies. But you didn't know what was coming out yet. You didn't know 2 years in advance. So you go to the theater and like a trailer come on, you'd be like, wow, that movie looks like it'll be cool. Like, wow, they're making one of those again? Sweet.
Yep.
Like the fun has been taken away from trailers now. So
I agree.
A little sad. So I don't need them anymore. So I don't go.
That's why I haven't sent you the new Ari Aster trailer for his new movie.
Oh, yeah? What's that trailer, like 8 minutes long?
No, it's 2 minutes long, but it's, and I mean, it doesn't really give anything about the plot away, really, but it's a lot of images that I think you'd like to see for the first time on the big screen and not in a trailer on your phone.
Probably going to see it anyway, so it's fine.
It looks great. Let me give you some taglines for this movie, though.
Yeah,
I want to give you some taglines. You ready? They're terrible. The Waterboy is the devil. That is one of the taglines?
Yeah, that tells me nothing about the movie. I don't know what to do with that.
A man with a serious drinking problem.
Woohoo! Oh, I get it, but it took me a little longer to get it, and I
It's
needed to watch the movie
doesn't make
to
any
get
sense.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Instant hero, just add water, high quality H2O.
Who are these marketing people?
Don't bother his girlfriend and never talk about his mama.
Yeah, that feels tangential at best.
You can mess with him, but don't mess with his water. Bobby Boucher was a lonely water boy who was constantly tormented by everyone, but now everyone will feel his pain. These are fucking awful.
What it is
everyone was clocking out at 5.
Yeah, it's a great lesson in that marketing isn't as important to film success as people think.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is him doing his little funny Cajun voice, and then...
Yeah, your movie just needs to be good, and people will come. Shocked. I'm shocked.
Like, tackling people is funny.
Aside from the football of it all, that is fun for me, I think the jokes here are very good. I think all the actors are really doing their thing. I think...
Yeah.
Here's the deal, right? The script is not great. It's not overall...
Oh, excuse me. What? Perfect script. A+. Loved it.
I guess maybe I'm talking about the structure, right? The actual plot of the movie is any sports movie. I almost wonder if this is like a parody of sports movies. Like, it does hit all of these sports movie plot points, not only on the nose, like at the time when they should be hit, but like very in your face. Like, they're very cleanly and easily solved plot points. They're very announced. They're very in your face with it. So I wonder if that's almost by design. But all the jokes that are in there to really make up the bulk of the script, like that, those are all great. I think it's a really weird, it should be like a really niche idea, but it does feel like it works really well.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried here, coming back to it 7 years later, now that I'm old and stuffy. No, I was old and stuffy then.
Yeah, I think you were old and stuffy. Now you're young and vibrant.
I was what I wouldn't find it as funny, or because I knew that it was going to be funny, like that joy of the surprise viewing wouldn't be there, but still amusing. I still chuckled out loud, which I don't do often, but I did do it a couple times for this movie, but still found most of the jokes amusing despite that. Not chuckling aloud. I don't really do that. I like the afros to let us know it's the 70s. On the one hand, it's like part of this low-budget filmmaking the movie has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the budget of this film, actually?
Ooh, good question.
Looking at their house, I don't want to say this incorrectly. It's well designed. A lot of thought was put into it by the production designer. It just looks cheaply made, and it looks like a set. So my thought is the budget maybe isn't super high, or maybe it's top heavy.
Yeah, budget is $23 million.
It's kind of big, but maybe not. You do have a lot going on. You have to get these stadiums. You need all these extra. Anyway.
It's like a medium-sized budget.
On the one hand, it's like, do we want to do so much production design to make it look like the 70s? Or let's just hang up a disco ball, put afros on the actors, and now it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was fun. It's weird seeing adult Henry Winkler with non-gray hair, because I've pretty much just been like the Fonz, and then Henry Winkler now, and he's only got gray hair. Those are the two forms I've seen.
Did I give you a Roger report last time?
No. Give me some Raja.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Roger, 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 Roger. R-O-G-E-R. R-O-G-E-R.
Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film a negative review. No.
Ouch.
You're
wrong.
Are you saying Roger Ebert doesn't understand wacky comedies?
Well, I bet he liked Their Wedding Singer, though, right? Is he going to be like, unlike Their Wedding Singer, blah, 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 blah?
Of course. Saying Sandler is making a tactical error when he creates a character whose manner and voice has the effect of fingernails on a blackboard, and expects us to hang in there for a whole movie. He also included in the film on his most hated list.
This is one of my favorite of Sandler's characters.
I know.
He doesn't even have a character in The Wedding Singer. Here, he's doing something.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a character in Happy Gilmore. Not really.
Yeah.
I would want to see a sequel.
I think I mentioned it maybe in our original recording. I need to mention it right here. Kathy Bates, where is her Golden Globe? She deserves a big Golden Globe for this movie.
At the beginning of the old episode, was the only thing you liked about the movie was Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is fucking hilarious. She's never been funnier than this movie.
I would almost think before going into the film, like, why is Kathy Bates in this movie? Does she think she's too good for this movie? But she's working really hard. Is she too good? Yes. But is she like playing along and putting in full effort to sell these jokes? Yes. Yes, she is. I think she's having fun.
I definitely mentioned it when we fucking did the episode. But they're having dinner with Henry Winkler, and Sandler. Winkler asks, he's like, because they're eating a snake, like a giant fucking snake. And he's like, what part of the snake do you think we're having right now? And she's like, the knee. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. The knee. And then he later asks, he's like, well, what's for dessert? And then there's the bug zapper, and she's like, squirrel.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't miss a fucking beat.
Yeah, and I think that's where she has the line. She's like, oh, God, I met my husband in 1966, pickup sticks, and then just like keeps talking. It's surprisingly smart humor for Bayou culture.
So
and at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's making fun of I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's making fun of them per se.
It's not talking down, it feels like.
They're not overly stupid. Like, Adam Sandler obviously has some learning difficulties, but at the same time, when his girlfriend is talking to him about a psychic, he is like Rain Manning the absurdity of being a psychic. So like there is, I don't know. They just find like, what characters are down in the bayou that we would never get to see? You know, like you have those two hicks that are like watching the game, and one of them is saying stupid things, and the other hick, who looks even hickier, is like, you're an idiot.
So are you talking about Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother?
Oh, really? That's his... Oh, that does look like him, yeah.
It does. It looks
wow,
just
it
like
does
him.
now that you say it. And now that Ron Howard's bald, you're like, yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so this was the whole thing that Tim Hurley was trying to do with the script was invert the dynamic of Sandler is surrounded by crazy kooky characters when he is like kind of normal, and then now he's the crazy kooky character surrounded by mostly normal people.
Yeah, and this is kind of what worked about Waterboy, you know? Like but he's so like well-meaning and genteel, and like he just wants to do what's right. I don't know, like there's like the characters are what make this script work more than the plot. The plot's just there to see if something to hang your hat on. We're here for the characters, we're here for the jokes. We see the seeds.
It is a nice, gentle movie, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, and this is why I think we liked Hubie Halloween, because it was sort of a similar thing, and it was a similar character. We even see the seeds being planted for Hubie's thermos. Adam Sandler, like, pulls out a cup, extends it so he can give Henry Winkler water when he's coughing right at the beginning of the movie.
It's so satisfying when it just, like, comes out like that.
Yeah. And he's, like, ready to go, and I'm like, this is Hubie Halloween, but instead of caring about Halloween, he cares about water. Like, of course we were going to like Hubie Halloween.
I got breaking non-news. In September 2022, Sandler stated that he was open to making a sequel. While the actor stated that he has not figured out the story yet, he was looking forward to returning in the titular role at some point.
Yeah, it was the only smart thing Kevin James has ever said. When somebody was like, what Adam Sandler character do you think he should revisit? And he's like, Bobby Boucher, of course. Yeah, I spent a lot of this movie trying to think about, like, if you were to do a sequel, how would you do it? Would you get in trouble for doing some of these Bayou things? Would there be people who was like, don't be mean to them? Do you do the football thing still? You got to keep the water part, but like, is he now a hydrologist or something? Like,
he's definitely just like training his kid or something, you know?
Yeah, that was my fear.
Like
but like, he doesn't, like, he was doing it on instinct. Like, he doesn't know much about football. You can't have him be a mentor on that kind of level because that's a very technical thing.
Well, that's where the comedy's from, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So he's just like, get mad. I don't know.
I know.
That's why it's weird. I
secretly want to like write it and be like, Sandler, look, here's the script for you. Done.
Look at this. 95 pages.
Yeah,
there you
wow,
go.
look, you're in and around Adam Sandler. Like, oh, how great would it be to be the writer of Waterboy 2?
Now give me this Netflix money.
Yeah.
I've heard so much about it.
Yeah, they seem to just want to throw it away.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Are they wiping their ass with $100 bills still?
Then I get to be on set with Faruza Bulk, which brings us up to point 2 of what made the Waterboy episode so famous all those years ago.
Yes.
Faruza Bulk, still aggressively attractive to me in this movie.
Yeah, when she holds up the sign.
Oh, the sign. Oh, the sign.
What does the sign say?
It says, you want me to kill them?
Yeah.
As he's taking the GED test.
He's like alone in a gym with one
desk.
desk.
He's the only person taking this test. There were the 3 moderators there, and she's offering to kill them to help him pass the test. Like, that's how much she loves him. It's adorable. Yeah, I don't know. She just, I don't know.
It's adorable.
I don't know what it is about it. I'm just like super into it. And then I'm like, I wonder what she's been up to recently. Here's what she's been up to since we recorded that episode at the end of 2015. Battle Scars. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Ray Donovan.
Oh.
Yeah, she was in 7 episodes of that. August Falls in 2017. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Yeah. Trespassers. Have you heard of that one?
No.
She probably wasn't in it much because her character's name was Visitor.
She must have just been visiting.
Yes, I guess. In 2020, she has a little break. She's in The Craft, Legacy.
Oh, yes.
I imagine some reboot thing or something.
Yeah.
8 episodes of some show called Paradise City in 2021. Have you heard of that?
No.
And
There's
then
too many shows.
And then a voice in what seems to be a cartoon called Close Enough in 2022. 1 episode of that.
Wow.
So not super busy. I feel bad for her.
I mean, write the part.
Yeah, exactly. I got to write this movie for her.
She could basically be the new mama, right?
Is Kathy Bates dead?
No, but I'm saying, like, she's the grandma now.
She's not that old, is she? Yeah,
well, I'm saying there's gotta be some kind of kid element to this.
I think there'd be a kid. She wouldn't be a grandma. She'd just be a ma.
No, I'm saying Kathy Bates would be the grandma.
Kathy Bates' grandma.
And her role is definitely a smaller thing now because, we don't want to bother Kathy Bates too much.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Kathy Bates be dead in the movie and then have like a flashback or 2 scenes or like an Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of thing where she comes back and she's like,
yeah,
why are you being so stupid, boy? That's not how Ma raised you. Maybe
we could get Kathy Bates and June Squibb to be like sisters.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That could be fun.
Yeah, Adam Sandler really good at employing older actresses in prominent roles.
Yeah,
like
great.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody likes employing old actresses to
and
do
like
good
get
things
big laugh lines.
Yeah, like they're major parts of the movie and they have good jokes.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to know the Sandman cares.
Faruza is Farsi for turquoise.
Of course.
Apparently, her father exclaimed as he saw her blue eyes when she was born.
Oh, what's the line though? With the "It's still cold."
Yeah, yes, the water he gave her from Antarctica. The legendary water as his gift of
she picks up the water. She's like, still cold.
She's like amazed. She's like, this is magical water. She believes in that crap.
Down on the bayou.
So I was confused. So when my reading of it the first time watching it many years ago was that like they had kind of been an item when they were growing up. And so like that's why when she gets out of jail, she like seeks him out. But it seemed like in this movie they just grew up together. And then for some reason, suddenly she's into him now, all these years later.
Yeah. She's like, well, I like him on the tractor. He seems to...
Yeah, she seemed to like Kiri. He was on a football team and then was like, maybe I'm into him now. And then like stalks him.
Well, he's showing a little more like authority.
I'd like a little more background info on the Faruza Bulk character. Surprise, surprise. Give me more of that. She kind of fades away a little bit at the end, but she's like, she calls the score of the game. She's like, that's what it's going to be. And then the score looks like it's going to be that. And she like looks smugly at the reporter who's very afraid.
Still cold.
Yeah, still cold. Kathy Bates is like doing a little dance in the background because she realizes she's on TV.
I love when Kathy Bates has her like weird coma incident where like she's got a broken heart or something.
Yeah.
And she like sees all the people like gathered outside the window and like, she can hear them at least. And then she like peeks one eye open and then he looks back at her and she like closes her eye really quickly. She's fucking great in this.
Is Captain Insano a real wrestler?
Well, funny you bring that up in this more recent episode because Captain Insano was on AEW, a wrestling promotion, doing a backstage interview because they have the wrestler Paul White who played Captain Insano in The Waterboy, and he was revisiting his Captain Insano character.
But only for the interview, not in the ring.
Yeah, just for the interview. Yeah, it was just a little bit.
Was he wrestling in the ring, or is he old now?
He's kind of old now. I think he's in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. He's been around for a while.
All right, so he wasn't wrestling under Paul White and then putting on the Captain Insano costume to do an interview as somebody else.
Yes.
Okay. Why do this,
now?
25 years after the movie come out?
Well, I think the owner of the company is a big Captain Insano fan.
Okay. The Green Notebook flashback thing is still kind of a smart-ish joke.
God, that is so fun with the Afro wigs.
Yeah, it's like a funny flashback thing, and it's such a patent scene. I don't know. It's why I think the movie's a parody, because it's basically there's no text. As Winkler says, I was writing down notes, and then the other guy comes in and is like, give me those notes, and he's like, okay, and then the scene's over. And so, I don't know, it seems to be making fun of itself in that moment. Sandler's acting, as we're kind of going through these earlier films, it's tough to say, or it's tough to describe fairly, but his vocal acting isn't always the best, in the sense that he's not always in the character vocally.
Oh, you're saying like it kind of...
His jokes are not hurting because of it, but he's not always feeling believable in some scenes because of it. But his physical acting is near flawless. Like, he is really in the body of the character.
Yeah, I like his stuttering and stammering.
Yeah, I think some of the acting trouble may be coming from the script itself, and just like it's hard to deliver those lines believably, or it's hard to... That line might be at the expense of the character for the sake of the joke. Like it might have been worth it to the script to go out of character to get the joke to land, or to put the joke in there, something like that. The movie does not, as big as women are in Waterboy's life, the movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
I didn't see that coming.
I wonder, looking at Faruza Balk's overall filmography, I wonder how many of her movies would pass the Bechdel test.
Maybe The Craft.
I know.
Just because
it's not looking great.
4 female leads in it.
American History X.
She's in that?
Yeah. The Island of Dr. Moreau.
The Val Kilmer one? With Marlon Brando?
Yeah. She's in the
you should watch
video
that.
for ZZ Top. I might watch some of these movies just to get a little... Now that I've gotten all the Puppet Masters out of the way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I gotta have reasons to check out my celebrity crush for Faruza Balk. The future Mrs. Patrick Skeyhill.
Oh, okay. Very interesting.
The age difference doesn't bother me. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
that she is 26 years older than me. That doesn't stop me.
She could be your mother.
My mother is only 1 year older than she is. Okay, so she's only 16 years older than me. My math was terrible. That's not creepy.
No, it's not bad at all.
Listen, if she were 16 years younger than me, men would be like, yeah, go get her.
26 is a bigger gap, though.
26, yeah, if you want to default me.
Those are generations that are different. You guys are from... Well, it's good to know that Sandler cast around his age. I mean, he was still young. He's 31 in the movie. His
character was 31 too, which is another thing that confused me. Like, I thought they were just out of high school and or had a couple years because she was in jail, and then I'm like, okay, this all makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
they just did it for the joke then, because that does make more sense. But when he calls up to talk to Captain Insano, and then he's just like, how old? He's like, I noticed that you are sweating a lot and that you need to refuel. And he's like, I could be your water boy. And he's like, oh, that's so sweet. How old are you? He's like, I am 31 years old.
Yeah, I know. And I thought that would, but I guess if he's a 25-year-old version, it's not as funny.
It's definitely not as funny if he's 25. It's so funny if he's 31 years old. And he's in his matching red pajamas.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
great. Movie's still funny. I still leave it on the rank as number 2.
Wow. Excellent.
Uncut Gems, obviously better film as a film.
Yeah.
I just find Waterboy more charming and amusing, and
It's faster paced.
it's faster paced. It's got football. I think that's, I don't know, it's hard to take away just like how surprised I was at how much I enjoyed the movie. It's the quirk, it's the type of humor I like Adam Sandler doing the most, and it's the best he's ever done it. Faruza Balk certainly helps, so, there's all that.
I have Waterboy number 6.
Yeah.
I have the Waterboy behind Billy Madison, Punch Drunk Love, Happy Gilmore, Uncut Gems, and the Meyerowitz Stories.
I think those are all fair. The Meyerowitz Stories feels a little, I don't know, surprised you like that one so much.
I really like that movie.
The other ones are actually good films or like your childhood staples.
I really like Baumbach. So when you finally get to watch Blood Noise, I'd like to talk about that.
All right.
Excellent.
Waterboy, good film. I got to find a way to write a Waterboy 2 so I can meet Faruza Balk.
Hell yeah.
I also then have to get Adam Sandler to see my script for Waterboy 2.
I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, no.
Is
that's
that a
my
thing
New
where I
England
could
home.
just like write it, post it online, and then try to have it trend or something?
Yeah, have your fucking name watermarked all over that thing, though.
Yeah, it's fine. But just be like, look, I've written the script, #Waterboy, #Sandman, and then see like it spread, and everybody's like, this is a well-liked script. Look at this.
Let's
And
do
then he's
it.
like, why don't you come on in, Patrick, and we will meet with you. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to talk to you like that.
He's going to talk to me as a character. Let's just have a general meeting, and you can partake in some high-quality H2O.
Excellent.
You like it in a bottle? Yeah, I don't know. Like, water's gotten so crazy these days. There's, bottle. There's water flown in from Fiji. There's Brita filters. It's a golden age of water. It's an embarrassment of riches for him.
No, you sit down at the meeting table. You're having a meeting with him, and he's just like, he walks in there. He immediately sees your Voss water bottle on the table, and he's just like, I respect this man. Let's go. let's make this happen. I don't even need to read it. Let's
there's
just go to set.
seltzer water's now big. Like, Voss water. Like, there's artisanal water. I don't know. Like, what would that character do in this world? Does he fully embrace it? Or does he think it's like water putting on airs? How would the character approach it? I want to write the script.
Yeah.
I got to crack the story.
Yeah. I'll try to help you.
Yeah, let's fucking Joe. Could you imagine 10-year-old Joe? You go back in time. You're like, Joe, you're gonna write a script with your best friend for Adam Sandler. You'd be like, wow,
This is the best.
why did you let myself go? And you're like, all right, shut up. I have kids.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah.
Where's
Young you's
that
like,
take
why'd you
coming
get
from?
so fat? And you're like, I got kids. Shut up. You don't understand.
Excuse me? Wow.
Don't look at me. Talk to 10-year-old Joe. He's all uppity about it.
No, 10-year-old Joe was a fat fuck, so I am much more lean now. Fuck you.
Oh no, poor 10-year-old Joe.
Yeah, no. He hadn't hit puberty yet, so he was
Yeah, no
old.
wonder Billy Madison was your only friend. My goodness.
Excuse me.
So nobody likes a fat kid. I say this as a former fat person. Nobody liked me when I was fat.
When? I don't remember this.
We're obviously joking, people out there. There's nothing wrong if you have some extra weight, unless your doctor tells you it's unhealthy. Then do what they say.
Jesus Christ. I did not know Dr. Patrick was coming to talk today.
Listen, if your doctor's like, you need to lose weight or your heart's going to give out, aka the whale, maybe you should do it.
Wow. Oh, topical. The Whale is going to be premiering at Bellingham on Friday.
Wait, what? It's just
Yeah,
going there
it's
now?
finally coming to Bellingham
Jesus.
Theater on Friday.
What the hell with... Oh, you know why? Because they've got like 8 3-hour movies in there. They don't have room for extra movies.
Yeah. Too much Avatar.
Avatar, Black Panther 2, that biography about the singer lady, Babylon.
Oh, yeah. The I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Yeah, that's the
That's
one.
the most
Yeah.
worst fucking title for a Whitney Houston movie. They could have come up with something way better, and they chose that one. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Is that even her most popular song?
I don't think... It is
Can't
a popular one, but I don't know if it's the most... It's not the one I'd go to first, I don't think.
I just think it's just like one of those like paint by numbers, like biopics.
Well, yes,
and
of
it's
course.
just
Yes. And not doing it smartly like Waterboy.
or Love and Mercy.
Well, but Waterboy's doing it smartly in the sense that it's doing it stupidly, but it knows it. Love and
Yeah.
Mercy actually being a smart biopic film. Legitimately creative decisions were made, and they found a new way to approach the music biopic. And then Bohemian Rhapsody saw it, and they said, what if we do none of that?
I always like to call back to our awesome summer of movies in 2015.
We had some good movies that year with Paul Giamatti taking musicians' money.
So good.
A surprising amount of them.
Within a month, those movies came out.
Do you think he realized what was going on as he was taking roles? And he's like, am I getting typecast?
His agent was like, I got another one of these shit heels for you to play.
It's pretty great. You get to keep the same costume, you get to stay in character, and you just go across the lot.
Here's another $2 million.
Yeah. All right, as long as I don't have to do any Verizon commercials. You won't have to do those for at least 6 more years if you do these 2 films.
That's great.
I feel bad, though, going back to Babylon. I feel bad for, Babylon obviously didn't do super well. And the reports afterwards immediately were like, it looks like Margot Robbie's got another bomb this year. I guess the stars lost her luster. And I go, is that her fault, though?
No, it's not. And that's a horrible take.
As much as Hollywood seems to rely on the star system, I also think we put a lot of onus on the power of a star to make a movie successful. What was the other movie she did? Armageddon Time? That clip you said?
No, Jesus. No,
What?
It's Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Armageddon Time.
That's the James Gray one. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie had no chance in the beginning anyways.
So, Amsterdam, by the one clip I saw, seems to be just an actual atrocious movie. It didn't. You could have.
It's bad.
You could have Tom Cruise in the movie, and it wouldn't have done well. And Babylon, I don't think. Joe kind of liked it. I don't think is super great. I think Margot Robbie very good in the movie. I think the movie's just not very good. And it's 3 hours, and it's about Hollywood jerking itself off. And I'm not surprised a lot of people didn't want to go see it.
I agree, but you know what? It's fun.
And on the converse of that, I don't think a lot of these Marvel superhero films are doing as well as they are because of the stars that are in them.
They aren't.
Yeah, I think they do well just because people are going to see them because they're Marvel films. Nobody was like, wow, you got white bread to be Ant-Man. I've got to see that. Michael Douglas, I got to check that out. They were like, oh, Ant-Man, I got to see that because Avengers is coming out soon. What's his name? Paul Rudd? So I couldn't remember his name. So
White bread.
Paul Rudd.
That is rude.
The whitest of bread, Paul Rudd is. So leave Margot Robbie alone. All right, she's making questionable choices, fine. But they're not even that questionable. She's picking well-known directors. She's not doing the Frank Caracci's of the world. These directors have pedigree.
Do you know what she's got coming out in the summer?
The Barbie movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Big star, big cast, big director.
I don't even think it's a big director. I think it's an unfortunately medium director. She should be bigger, and she's not. She
will be bigger after this movie.
God,
you know
I
who
hope so.
wrote the movie with her?
Who?
Noah Baumbach. They wrote it together when they were working on White Noise together. Just imagine how weird that house must have been for a while.
So, if that couple is fine and no one thinks it's creepy, I think it's fair for me to start dating Faruza Balk.
Yeah.
That's an age disparity couple there.
Yeah, that couple of Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig is also a Noah Baumbach movie.
Yeah, very true. So, Greta Gerwig, get all the attention you want. You're actually making good content and
fun. It looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks like she has ideas with this.
Yeah, all your movies have felt pretty different from each other, right? Little Women, obviously very different from Bird. What's the movie?
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird.
Blackbird.
Obviously different from Frances Ha, and Barbie's I don't know. The themes seem to be the same, but you're coming at them from very different angles, so awesome. Way to go. That's how you be a director. Maybe she could direct Waterboy too. I could meat her. I could meet
that
Isabel.
Would be fascinating. That would be a real left turn for her.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's got a daughter. Right? Because Adam Sandler actually has daughters, right? He's got 2 daughters.
He has 2 daughters.
Bobby Boucher has a daughter, and there's something here. And she wants to play football, but she's a girl, so they don't let her play football.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of his daughters was in Hubie Halloween.
There was that whole big party scene in the high school.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there you go, Waterboy. Fun movie. Still like it. Faruza Balk, still in my heart.
Of course.
All right, any last looks on this, Joe? Looking back at sort of yourself and your view of the movie now versus in 2015?
Well, my opinion on the movie is not still cold. Great movie. Thank you for making me take another look at this one.
Yep, my last looks. I'm surprised 2015 Patrick loved it, but I'm glad he did. I'm very happy I still like it now. I'm glad I did get to watch the full version. It wasn't missing it. Wish this had a totally awesome edition. Give me some bonus scenes here. That would be great.
This movie is the perfect length. I would not want to mess with it at all.
Yeah, you got a good point there. Does its job, but gives us great jokes. Mm-hmm. Give me a sequel to get me more. I'll write it. Joe and I will write it. It'll be great.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks to Laverne Rensselaer for working on this episode again with us. And thanks to you, Joe, for coming by.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You may find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassenbemp Incorporated. We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make
There's a UK podcast called The Sandler Pit. And apparently, they're so prominent that they are featured on the Waterboy trivia facts on IMDb.
What?
Bullshit.
Who the F are these Sandler? We're the Sandler podcast.
Considered the film one of Adam Sandler's better offerings and allowed the film residence in their hallowed Sandler Castle.
Well, I agree with that. Of course the Brits would have a castle.
Yeah.
What a British thing to do.
This is some of the worst trivia facts I've ever seen. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this on the podcast, but I just think this is another stupid trivia fact. The film has similarities to the 1976 film Carrie. Bobby Boucher is a high school outcast and is the victim of ridicule, and his mother is an overzealous, God-fearing woman. Just like Carrie.
I can't think of two movies that are more similar. The next time we have a high school outcast with an overly religious mother, we'll be like, where on the spectrum between Waterboy and Carrie does this movie fall?
Where's the sliding scale? Is this more Waterboy or is this more Carrie?
Well, the Adam Sandler podcast is still going. They have less episodes than us, though. But they're also talking about movies that aren't Adam Sandler. They did The Adventures of Pinocchio and Pauly Shore is Dead.
Huh. I don't think Sandman's in that.
Yes. Norm of the North.
Oh, these are Snyder's.
Like, don't be moving in on our tread.
Yeah, have they been doing it for 8 years now, though?
And they're not even going. They're not even the House Bunny. What are you doing?
That's just a production of Happy Madison.
Yeah. All right. Get out of here. Stupid, other not cool podcasts. They're moving in on our turf, Joe.
Don't like it.
You know, all the networks are getting together. I think somewhat in the spite move of Netflix. And they are moving to establish with an outside, they're creating a joint industry committee to be like, how do we do ratings for streaming? Basically, it's Nielsen ratings, but for streaming they want to develop because they're like, it just makes sense for our advertisers that people can keep in touch with how often things are being watched. And if that's what matters, minutes watched matters, a certain amount of minutes watched matters, or just... how many of going through the full thing, so they're working on this so that they can have something for the 2024 upfront. So about a year and a half from now, this new measurement will be there. And at the end, they're just like, yeah, we just think be nice for there to be transparency and not be able to hide behind arcane bureaucratic blah, blah, blahs. And I'm like, you are just talking to Netflix right now. That's not to us, the viewer. We don't care about any of this. You're just taking pot shots at Netflix, maybe Hulu. But Netflix is probably going to want something like this anyway if they're thinking about adding commercials. But their ability to lie might be a reason why they haven't done commercials yet.
Their shows aren't formatted to have commercials, though.
Yep, that'll be weird, too.
So you're just going to have the problem where it's going to be like, how about we cut right here, right in the middle of the scene?
Yeah.
Or right as the scene ends where it shouldn't be like having a 5-minute commercial break.
Something like that, probably. I just think Netflix, I just do not believe you when you tell me that the top 10 movies and shows, 2 different top 10 lists, are all Netflix originals every day. I can't believe that.
One of them always has like some random like early aughts hit that was like that never, well, it wasn't a hit until it was on Netflix, and all of a sudden now it's a huge hit. Well, let's see here. I want to look at the top TV shows in the US today. Ginny and Georgia, a Netflix original. The second one though, The Walking Dead.
People still care about The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I mean, god damn it.
I didn't know that show was still on.
Yeah, it just ended, I believe. I think it just ended.
That show was on for like 12 years.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, though. So the top 10 movies in the U.S. today. Of course, number 1 is The Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker.
Never heard of it.
The Pale Blue Eye, the new Christian Bale, Scott Cooper movie.
Have heard of it. Wish I hadn't.
Yeah. Number 3 was Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
I buy that.
But number 4 movie right now in the U.S., Transformers Dark of the Moon. Even more wild?
I can't believe
Even more
that.
wild, though? Life, number 5.
Never heard of that one.
I believe that's Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence from like 1998 or 9.
What?
Number 6? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Trolls. The DreamWorks
The
movie
animated
Trolls.
film?
Yes.
Just
number 7?
suddenly?
No, okay, so no. Some fucking algorithm with Eddie Murphy's going on right now because number 7 in the US is Daddy Daycare, the 2003 film.
That one I do remember.
Number 8, King Kong, the Peter Jackson remake. Number 9, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the second Transformers movie from 2009. And number 10, a little relevant today, The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler remake.
All right, here's my new theory with regards to movies only. So few people go to Netflix to watch movies that when 10 people, for some reason, happen to watch Daddy Daycare, becomes
top 10.
becomes top 10 film.
So like there's only like 20 people watching Knives Out.
Yeah, like who even knows enough about life to go find it, to want to see it, and then actively look for it, and then find it on Netflix, and then watch it?
I think they're looking up Eddie Murphy movies. They're like, I've never heard of this. Oh, Martin Lawrence is in it? Oh, Bernie Mac. I remember Bernie Mac. Oh, wow. I'm going to put this movie on. Oh, it's a really sad drama that's marketed very funny, and it's not? Huh.
I wonder then if like Netflix's audience skews much older than any of us realize, or at least the movie watching portion of it.
Has to be.
I just thought like it
The
was
Pale
a lot
Blue
of
Eye,
like,
an Edgar Allan Poe movie.
yes, another Edgar Allan Poe teams up with a police officer to solve crimes that would later lead to books he writes. How many times are we going to do that, Chestnut? I mean, I know it's only the second time, but I think once was too many.
What was the first one?
The John Cusack The Raven film that I watched for our podcast on The Raven.
Wait, we watched The Raven?
Yeah, we watched The Raven. It was like episode 5 of the Jack Nicholson season.
Oh, you watched the,
And then
the
I watched
John Cusack one.
3 other movies that were called The Raven. 2 of them remakes of the poem, not the R Raven. And then this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a modern one. We'll see how that goes. And I go, why is he a detective? And I go, oh my God, this is so stupid. And now they're doing it again with a bigger actor? Like, come on.
An Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah, so I get why that one's doing well. So White Noise not in the top 10.
White Noise is too weird. I don't even know how it got made.
White Noise is too weird compared to Life and 2 of the bad Transformer movies. I mean, let's listen, folks. They're all bad, but these are the ones everybody agreed was bad at least.
The second one is atrocious. That movie is a crime against humanity.
It's like, what? Like, it can't be that bad. You know, I'm going to watch White Noise today. I'm going to throw that algorithm off.
Please, I want you to watch White Noise. I'd love to talk to you about
I'm
it.
interested in, like, if I watch White Noise and suddenly it's, like, number 8 on the list.
I'll watch White Noise as well. Let's watch it. We'll throw the algorithm off.
Okay. All right, hold on. Shit, where's my Waterboy notes?
Where are my Waterboy notes?